हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। आज की इस वीडियो में हम लोग ब्रिटिश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इन इंडिया को डिस्कस करेंगे। यहाँ पे ब्रिटिश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में 3 टॉपिक है, मिलिट्री है, पुलिस है और जुडिशरी है। तीनों को हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे। और आगे बढ़ने से पहले आई होप आपने सभी प्रीवियस टॉपिक का नोट्स कंप्लीट कर लिया होगा और आप रिवाइज भी ज़रूर कर रहे होंगे। इस वीडियो में मैं अपने नोट्स को शेयर करूंगी जो आपके मेंस के एग्ज़ाम के लिए बहुत ही हेल्पफुल होगा। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। और मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली, अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो तो ज़रूर लाइक कीजिएगा। और एनी डाउट अगर रिलेटेड आपको मेंस के एग्ज़ाम के लिए है तो आप ज़रूर कमेंट में लिखें। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। द ब्रिटिश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इन इंडिया वॉज बेस्ड ऑन 3 पिलर्स: द सिविल सर्विस, the army and the police. Cornwallis created civil services and police. The judiciary, through a given start by Warren Hastings, was established by Cornwallis. The rules, regulations, reforms in the administration paved the way for the consolidation of British rule in India. तो हम लोग मिलिट्री अंडर ब्रिटिश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पढ़ते हैं कि मिलिट्री का क्या कंडीशन था ब्रिटिश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के समय। The army served as a second most significant pillar of British administration in India. After the civil services, the army fulfilled 4 important functions. It served as a tool used to subdue the Indian powers. It defended the British Empire against the outside enemies. It protected the British supremacy from the constant risk of internal uprising. It served as a main tool for defending and expanding the boundaries of the British Empire in Asia and Africa. The structure of the army before 1857 under the British administration की बात करें तो पहले का क्या आर्मी का स्ट्रक्चर था, और फिर आपको पता ही होगा 1857 की रिवॉल्ट के बाद बहुत सारे चेंजेस लाए गए थे आर्मी में. द ओरिजिन ऑफ द ब्रिटिश इंडियन आर्मी वॉज सब्सिक्वेंटली the army of independent India lies in the origin of presidency armies which preceded them. The Bengal army and the army of Bombay and Madras presidency made up the army of East India Company. Each had a distinctive internal structure and level of professionalism. The sepoys of the Bengal army generally hailed from high caste Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Hindu family of Awadh and Bihar. Even in their so-called military villages, they upheld the bonds between caste and community. The ties with their original villages were, however, slackened but not snapped. The Bombay and the Madras army recruits belonged to the Punjab, Awadh, Rajputana and hailed from different castes. Following the Anglo-Maratha War, there was a surge of Maratha soldiers. The armies under the British administration were organized on a professional basis and encompassed individuals from various castes and ethnic groups such as Mercorps. They generally helped the British during 1857 revolt as loyal professional soldiers. In order to achieve mobility without facing resource constraints or restoring to looting, the British armies also professionalized logistics through routine purchase and stockpiling of non-perishable goods. The colonial state also took special care to deny the Indian rulers access to resources to prevent them from organizing similar professional armies. The princely state territories where succession had lapsed, the principle was used. Annexation principle was used. The system of subsidiary alliance with the Indian rulers was initiated with the aim of liquidating the local military and even the quasi-military forces so as to achieve the most complete demilitarization of Indian kingdoms. चेंजेस इन द मिलिट्री आफ्टर 1857 अंडर द ब्रिटिश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की बात करें तो द रिवॉल्ट ऑफ 1857 नेसेसिटेटेड सर्टेन अमेंडमेंट्स इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ colonial आर्म्ड फोर्सेस। पहला पॉइंट है द रेशियो बिटवीन द नंबर ऑफ ब्रिटिश एंड इंडियन सोल्जर्स इन इंडिया वाज स्पेसिफाइड बाय द रॉयल पील कमीशन 1859। द बंगाल आर्मी इट was set 1:2 and in the Madras and Bombay army it was set at 2:5. The European troops were kept in strategic military and geographical locations. Mobile artillery was completely controlled by the British, and the Arms Act was passed to deny the profession of a weapon in hands of unlawful elements. The Indian were strictly prohibited from joining officer corps as was the previous policy. No Indian could advance past the Subedar rank prior to 1914. Next point, in order to reduce the likelihood that the Indian Army section would once again band together in anti-British uprising, it was organized according to the divide and rule policy. A fiction was created that Indians consisted of martial and non-martial classes, soldiers from Awadh, Bihar, Central India and the South India who helped British administration to conquer India but later took part in the revolt were declared to non-martial. They were not taken into army on a large scale. On the other hand, those Punjabis, Gurkhas and Pathans who had helped put down the uprising were declared to be martial and heavily recruited. To prevent the emergence of nationalism among the soldiers, communal caste, tribe, and the regional loyalties were encouraged. For instance, communal and caste companies were implemented in the majority of regiments. It was kept as far away from nationalist ideas as possible. The soldiers could not access journals, newspapers, nationalist publications. The Indian Army became in time a very costly military machine. For instance, it absorbed nearly 52% of the Indian revenues in 1904. So this was the condition of the Indian army, and the British majorly focused on their army because of which they annexed the entire territories of India. So military was one of the most important tool of the Britishers, because of which they ruled India for a long period of time. So next topic is police under British administration. This is very important because when we talk about local uprising, when we talk about all the संथाल रिवॉल्ट्स एंड ऑल, वो भी सारे टॉपिक्स को हम लोग कवर करेंगे. वो बहुत कॉमन है, बहुत सारे ऑब्वियसली स्टूडेंट्स नो अबाउट दैट. तो हम लोग यहाँ पर देखेंगे कि किस तरह पुलिस जो है वो भी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट टूल था ब्रिटिश मिलिट्री का. इट वॉज द पार्ट ऑफ ब्रिटिश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड इट वॉज वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट. सो इसी वीडियो में हम लोग कवर करते हैं पुलिस अंडर ब्रिटिश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. द थर्ड पिलर ऑफ द ब्रिटिश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन वाज द पुलिस, हुज क्रिएटर वाज अगेन कॉर्नवालिस. तो आप इवोल्यूशन की बात करते हैं, स्टार्ट कैसे हुआ था. अंडर द मुगल रूल, फौजदार्स हेल्प्ड इन मेंटेनिंग लॉ एंड ऑर्डर इन द सिटीज. कोतवाल मेंटेन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, and during the dual system of administration in Bengal, zamindars were expected to maintain staff including thanedars for maintaining law and order. Then Warren Hastings retained the post of faujdars and utilized the policing functions of zamindars during the early phase of the company rule. Each district was divided into smaller subunits, each under the charge of daroga who supervised the village watchman. The British officers dominated the superior post in the police. In 1887, a system of competition for higher appointment was introduced, but it was meant only for British citizens. The chosen inspectors were given the opportunity to apply for few assistant superintendent of police positions. By 1947, there were 30% more police officers with assistant police superintendents and higher rank than they were in 1924. Another important aspect of the police organization within the colonial state was its military character in administrative organizational form. The police were forced to use selective control in which they choose a specific social group as their target due to the lack of financial resource and political will. Additionally, the police continued to be corrupt, ineffective, poorly trained and poorly equipped. Even Curzon identified all these flaws. The majority of rural areas, the daroga and the local land owner played important roles in the government for the peasants and the laborers, or to put it another way, for every segment of rural society. The colonial states policies organization was allied with the strong dominant landed groups. So this was the um, topic of um, police under British administration, and in this video itself we will cover the other topic, that is judiciary under British administration. So when we talk about the justice system in the British rule, we will start here. Through the establishment of hierarchy of civil and criminal courts, the British administration laid the groundwork for new system of delivery justice. Warren Hastings gave the system a head start, but Cornwallis established it in 1793. Now in 1727, the mayor's court, how it evolved, we are talking about the evolution of the justice system in the British rule also. So in 1727, the mayor's court was established in the Bombay, Calcutta, Madras for civil disputes under the Regulating Act. Then after in 1773, 1772 के बाद 1773, this question can be also represented in the flow chart. If you mark all the important years, and you can just represent the answer in the very point wise manner also. So under Regulating Act 1773, a Supreme Court in India in the presidency town of Calcutta was established. Madras Bombay Supreme Court was established in 1801 and 1823. Sardar Diwani Adalat was the highest appellate body in the civil cases, followed by 4 provincial courts of civil appeal at Calcutta, Decca, Murshidabad and Patna. Now next point is 4 provincial civil criminal courts were abolished by William Bentinck, who appointed them as deputy magistrate, subordinate judges and the principal Sardar Amins. So like the governor generals and who came and who continued with the reforms in the justice system of British India. A law commission led by the Lord Macaulay, we have studied about this in the it was established by the government in 1833 to codify the Indian laws, and it eventually resulted in the Indian Penal Code. So this is the short notes about the judiciary system under the British administration. तो आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा होगा, आप ज़रूर इस सारे पॉइंट्स को अपने नोट्स में लिखिए और कंप्लीट योर नोट्स, कंप्लीट योर टॉपिक्स एंड ऑल्सो प्रीवियस वीडियोस को, प्रीवियस टॉपिक्स जिसके आपने नोट्स बना लिया है उसको आप रिवाइज ज़रूर करें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका ये वीडियो देखने के लिए।